Continue on with our interview with United States Navy cook Dan Graham.
About that bakery, I'll get to that right now.
Yeah, let's get to that bakery.
They built that bakery, $33 million, and it was the first time that any bakery ever built a single-level bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was on one floor.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was in automation.
Mm-hmm.
They'd bake the bread, it'd come out baked, they'd slice it, they'd wrap it, everything else was done automatic.
Mm-hmm.
No human hands touched that bread, So it came out completely pure, you might say.
Yeah.
One of the most modern bakeries I'd ever seen, And they invited us and our families to go through the bakery and everything.
Yeah.
And we'd watch all that. I was even fascinated with it.
Yeah.
I'd see that bread go into the thing, slice it, wrap it, and seal it all in one shot.
Yeah.
Now that's something.
Yeah, because you were used to seeing bread baked the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Boy, on a ship, I was thinking baking bread for.
Oh, we baked a couple of loaves of bread, but that's all.
Yeah. But
Just enough to feed the crew.
Yeah, but that's a big crew on a ship like that still.
800.
Yeah.
The big aircraft carriers carried more than 1,600 people on board.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
I knew an Army cook, and he told me one time, he says, it was just as hazardous sometimes in the kitchen as it was in combat.
Oh, yeah.
He had those giant mixers, and he's always had guys get their arms something.
Well, and then sometimes they get blown away by a bomb.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The boat I was on, the USS Massachusetts, they had the whole bakery blown out.
Yeah. Was that under an attack from, or?
They were attacked by a Japanese suicide bomber.
Oh, okay.
And I was nowhere near that ship at that time.
Yeah.
I got on board that thing after it was all repaired.
Yeah, yeah.
But I heard the stories about it, and boy.
Well, that's scary stuff.
A lot of people got killed on that one.
Yeah. And
it's quite a boat, big boat.
I'm sure you worked with a lot of guys that had been through combat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
they tell you stories that make your hair curl.
I bet you.
And I didn't have much to curl.
Yeah, it's good. So, when they any good friends you made on ship there, guys?
I made a couple from out of town. One was Louisiana. Mm-hmm. He was a dumbbell.
Yeah.
No education whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
But he got into the Navy and he done all right.
Yeah.
And then we had a guy from Massachusetts. My parents invited them for dinner. Because we used to get a Liberty and we'd go into town all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the guy from Louisiana.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Yeah.
He was a real dim-dim.
Yeah. But he was a...
But he was a good
guy.
Good
guy. And I'm sure you served with a lot of good guys.
A lot of good guys.
Yeah.
A lot of nice fellas on there.
Yeah.
And one time we had some crackpot running around loose on board. They caught him eventually.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It was good duty. I enjoyed the Navy. But I was glad to get out. I almost signed over once.
Yeah.
I went to the recruiting officer and I said, I want to sign up. And he wasn't there. He said, the guy who was in charge said, come back in about a day or two. And I said, no. When I up there, I left, I ain't going back.
You're not going to go back at that point. What rank did you get out at? What?
Third class petty officer.
Third class petty officer.
Yeah, I wasn't in long enough to get any more.
Yeah, well, that's, understandable. And going in 1944, we figured by the math you went in about 44, 45.
Might be.
Yeah, because the war was winding down at that point. And were you in there at the time when the typhoon hit?
No.
No, you weren't at that time period where...
I was out to sea and doing nothing.
And you were running the ships back and forth between, like, Ishima,
Nope.
No.
Where
would you...
I never got beyond Pearl Harbor.
Oh, okay, so the guys were coming back to Pearl, and then they were getting on your ship.
On our ship,
and Pearl, you were bringing it back to San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a good duty.
Yeah.
Just not see these guys and take them home.
Yeah.
See, we made how many trips? I don't remember how many trips we made.
Well, probably a lot. Jeez.
I think about 3 anyway.
Well, 3.
Well, that's a long trip.
Yeah, well, yeah, because going and coming back.
They weren't no modern boats in those days. They were
right.
They ran on your blood and guts.
Yeah, absolutely. So all right. Well, I think that just about wraps up a little bit of everything you did there. Anything else you want to share before
Not a drop.
Not a drop and stuff. We're good. So
I'm done with that and been done.
Yeah. So we always thank you for your service. You know, you probably hear that a lot. And
I know you hear it a lot, and you take it serious.
Yeah, and
you appreciate the thank you.
Right, and you got to see the faces of all those young boys and that were now men coming back and had been through the gristmill of war, and
they were stone faced, is what they were.
Absolutely,
they were just getting ready to get into civilization again.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to accept it.
Yeah, because they'd been, like you said, some of those guys have been in for 4 years, in combat, and it's hard to come back.
The first time they ever went home.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and that was something to see.
Yeah, and boy, they just coming home.
Those were good experiences.
Yeah,
very
they were
good.
Well, our nation was a lot different back then, and we had a patriotism, and everything that we had was immense. You know, the greatest generation. You were actually you're part of that. You know, so
I've been and I'm gonna be, and I'm not ready to give it up.
No, I know you're not and stuff. You know, gosh, 90 years old, and like I said, you're looking great.
I didn't ever believe I'd reach 90, but I got news for you. I was such a bad human being.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No?
You
should have been with me then.
Well, and stuff, I'll just take your word for it and stuff, but you seem like a pretty nice guy to me.
I ran around with a bunch of guys that were really tough.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say to that stuff, So it's right say all I can think of is the bad baker guy.
That's all you'll get out of me on that one.
That's okay.
I knew some real tough characters.
Yeah. Well, growing up as a kid in the 1950s and or 50s, 60s, and how much I love that unhealthy white bread that you guys would bake.
Oh, yeah,
that nowadays and stuff everybody screams about. But
I'll tell you what we had that most companies they never get. It was a good acting bakery manager.
Mm-hmm.
He believed in progress.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they came out with the loaf of bread called home fried.
Home fried? Okay.
You've heard of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
White and wheat.
Yep.
We knocked the market right on its can.
Yeah.
We took over.
Right.
We became from way down there to the number 3 or 4 bakery, number 1.
Yeah.
Through that bread.
Yeah.
He was a real progressive manager.
Yeah, he knew how to sell a product and do good. So
and we sold it, and we sold the hell out of it.
Yeah, very good. So
that was that.
So well, anyway, I'm gonna bid you adieu. Okay, for now. Goodbye. And thank you for goodbye and stuff. Thanks for the interview.
It's a nice couch.
You like this couch and stuff? Well, I'll see if I can get this moved over to your suite and stuff, okay? So hang right here for a second. We're going to say goodbye to Dan here and hope you enjoyed this interview. And we'll see you next time here at AV Veterans Talk. Thank you for joining us for this segment of AV Veterans Talk for Aerotech News.